Is this America? Is this Washington, D.C.? And it's missing people.
Heavy military and law enforcement presence, but no spectators on the streets of Washington, D.C. The former San Diego police SWAT commander spoke with ABC 10 News reporter Rena Nakano and gave her his on-the-ground perspective of this historic day.
Okay, let's take a walk.
Former San Diego police lieutenant turned independent journalist Ray Shea gives me a tour of Washington, D.C. on Inauguration Day.
There's the Capitol.
Not only is he there to witness history, but he's there with his 16-year-old son, Ryan.
I feel the First Amendment right is so important, both for protesters and the press, and for my son to learn.
Learned firsthand about America's democracy in action, but because of the insurrection and the subsequent dispatch of National Guard troops and law enforcement,
so we're coming to another checkpoint up here to the National Guard.
They say the Capitol almost felt like it was on lockdown.
It's definitely a ghost town here, and there's no one around.
People that live here in Washington said that in the past, this was filled with people, and it was more of an interactive event, obviously. But this year, that was not happening.
Shea says he barely witnessed any protesters going into the heavily guarded, designated protest area. Instead, the few demonstrators he did see just did their own thing. At one point, he says there were more international journalists than spectators around.
The press people expressed frustration. Who do we interview? In fact, one of them interviewed my son, a reporter from Sweden, because there's no one to talk to.
And because of that, business wasn't so good for the street vendors selling inauguration shirts. Although this was far from the typical D.C. inauguration experience, Shea says he's happy to have experienced it, especially with his son.
Seeing what's happening in America right now. There's some great discussions about politics.
Rena Nakano, ABC 10 News.
Shea says he wished he could at least listen to the inauguration through the loudspeakers, but was unable to hear the ceremony.